We're 2 hours into trading on Friday, May 7th. Hello, traders. Let's take a look at the market first because we've got a breakout pending right now. There's a bullish cross on the 10p indicator. Big compression after a drop in the 10p indicator. You would normally expect the market to come in. When it does not and it compresses, that is very, very bullish. Watch for this breakout here. There we go. It's starting to happen right now. So I'm going to go back into yesterday's pick, Cisco, CSCO. Go into the daily chart. I had shown you this downward sloping trend line that was breached to the upside. Loved this long green candle yesterday with lots of relative strength. Couple of bullish hammers above the 50-day moving average. That incredible strength on heavy volume told me that this stock wants to go higher. There's the move that we were looking at yesterday. There's the big volume that we saw. However, if you had taken a day trade on Cisco, you can see that the stock pretty much finished the day right where it started. But if you take a look at what happened to the S&P 500, this late day surge right in here was very, very powerful. We're going to take a look at that at the 5-minute chart. And the stock was able to hold its gains. It wasn't until today that you got the release higher. But I did like that move. And I'd mentioned that this stock has a tendency to rally into the earnings announcement. We know that more than 75% of the time it does so when it's inside that 2-week window before the earnings announcement date. Now it's making a new all-time high. I still like the stock. Looks very, very good. So let's take a look at the market. This is a compression. Typically, the 10p indicator is predictive. It tells us when the market is preparing for a move. There's your bullish cross right in here early. So you had to wait for this downward sloping trend line to be breached to the upside before you could really join this bullish cross. But that's the beauty of the indicator. It is anticipatory. It is predictive. Every other indicator is reactive. So we get this bearish cross right here. So if you were long on the open, buying stocks that were gapping higher, had relative strength, this was your sign that the market was going to take a little bit of a breather, that you should take profits. Now, we don't know if this is going to turn into a legitimate sell signal or not. We have to wait for a technical breakdown. Now, we've got a number of green candles up here. The open of this candle I would consider to be significant right here, but it was not violated. In fact, what happened was the market compressed and compressed and compressed. While it did so, the 10p indicator was falling. Now we've got our bullish cross. I'm still expecting a breakout to the upside, but after a gain like this, it's going to take a while for that bid to grow because we are at a new all-time high. The other thing that we need to consider is trend strength. When you have a super, super strong trend in the market, we can expect these bullish divergences. They only happen about 20% of the time. The vast majority of the time, when you get a cross in the 10p indicator, it's going to be accurate, but you still have to wait for technical confirmation. So what were the clues this morning out of the market? You had long green candles closing on their high. Very little overlap, so they are stacked and they are consecutive on very heavy volume. When we did get a little bit of a pause, it was very brief, only 2 candles. So there's a little bullish flag right there. Now we make a new high and then we extend the gains. So right now, buyers are simply waiting for the bid to continue to grow. We are seeing some profit taking, but every sell order is met with a buy order. If this rally were not legitimate, what you would have seen is a rally up, bearish cross in the 10p indicator, and you would have seen the market roll over very easily. But the fact that these gains have held steady tells me that the bid is strong and that we are poised to move higher. One final note on the S&P 500, we are making a new all-time high, and this could set up very nicely for closing option lottery trades where we buy options for pennies and we sell them for dimes and quarters. And what we'll be watching for very late in the day, we don't want to buy into strength. What we would like to see is a late day rally that falters in the last hour of trading. So some of the bullish speculators get flushed out, some of the option premiums come in. That dip will present a buying opportunity for us. That'll get the option super, super cheap. We'll be looking for stocks with relative strength that do not back off at all. Those will be the ones that are going to move higher and across those strike prices when the market finally regains its footing in the last 30 minutes of trading. So again, we buy these options for pennies and nickels and we sell them for dimes and quarters. It's not a huge part of our trading, but it is a really fun way to finish the week. And today we have a very strong market tailwind that I think is going to present some awesome opportunities for us. So let's take a look at some searches and see what we've got for today. I'm going to take the SPY overlay off and I'm going to go into my red hot search. This is something that we use for day trading, but it happened to flag Google, which I really like. You can see market compressing. Google is actually moving higher. So a little bit of a choppy pattern in here, but I like the daily chart as well. And here's what I like about it. So there's the earnings announcement after the close. Google shoots higher, gives back some of the gains. Tech had been really weak for the last 5 days or so, and you can see how Google came back and it checked that breakout. We had a bullish hammer in here. Now prices are starting to firm up. Today we've got it moving higher. That is a downward sloping trend line. This is a bullish flag formation. I believe Google continues to move higher. I like it for the rest of the day. I think it's going to be a good overnight position as well. Let's just take a quick look at the daily chart on the S&P 500. We've got this breakout to a new high, and it's similar to what I was mentioning regarding the 10p bullish divergence. So if we go into the daily chart, we're going to see a similar pattern on the daily chart. So there's your bearish cross right in here. Typically the market would roll over, especially after a spike like that. But we get this big drop in the 10p indicator, and what happens? The market compresses. Aha! This is a bullish divergence that's setting up. When it has a bullish cross here, the market's going to go higher. And in fact, right now, it doesn't even look like it's going to happen before the market breaks out. The buying pressure is so great that right now, market's already starting to break out. We had an unemployment report this morning that was quite puzzling. 244,000 new jobs created, or somewhere in that neighborhood, when analysts were expecting 1 million new jobs. So what that did was that put some upward pressure in bonds. And let's take a look at that. Take a look at the TLT. And the TLT early in the day was rallying on the news, on the notion that the Fed is not going to be tightening anytime soon. However, I really don't trust that number. Initial jobless claims have been declining for 4 weeks in a row. ADP came out this week. They said that 742,000 new jobs were created in the private sector during the month of April. These guys process payrolls. They know exactly how many checks they cut during the month of April. I trust ADP. I do not trust the BLS report. I never do. It's always filled with seasonal adjustments and all sorts of excuses about holidays and why people didn't file for unemployment. All these issues. ADP knows how many checks they cut. They process payrolls for small and medium-sized businesses. That's the number that I go with. I think you're going to see next month a big revision upward to the unemployment report that we saw today. So you can see how bonds have backed off of that early rally. My suspicion is that bond traders know that this jobs report is going to be revised. So let's go back into the 5-minute chart so we can keep an eye on the SPY. And we'll be watching for that breakout. If it doesn't happen during the video, I believe it is going to happen during the day. We'll also take a look at some other stocks that are popping up right now. Go into heavy buying. I'll show you a few that I like, show you a few that I don't like, and I'm going to actually put on a option liquidity rating here that's going to help me. Okay, that's already on. It's just got so many stocks right now that are popping. Let's see if we can find some other stocks that look pretty good. And I'm going to go into my red hot, TLRY. Really nice for day trading. Again, this is an example of relative strength. Market flat, stock moving higher on massive volume. I don't like the daily chart, but I do like the fact that the stock is really, really strong today. It's got a chance to move up to the 100-day moving average, maybe even today. Look at that volume. And this is a short squeeze stock. It's got a lot of short interest, so it's coming up on our short squeeze search, I'm pretty certain. And no, I don't see it on that search, but let's take a look at some of the other stocks that are coming up. ACB, big short interest in this stock through the 200-day moving average, through the 50-day moving average. Look at that volume and look at that strength. So this is a beautiful short squeeze that's taking place today. Really good stock to day trade, only a $9 stock. So those are a few trading ideas that I have for you today. Google, I like it today. I think it's going to continue higher Monday. I'm looking for this market breakout and some continuation on this breakout. The fact that the bid has been able to hold today tells me that the market is going to head higher into the close. That should set a positive tone for Monday. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers, and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.